where we get to discuss, current affairs, ranging from politics to security, agriculture, health, economy, education, and every and anything that actually contributes to, the growth of our dear nation, Nigeria. Well, today we're with regards to the trial of the former governor of Kogi State, Yahaya Bello, just been, remanded in Kuje prison. My name is Omo Efepiso Semere, and just like I had, trailed before now that we'll be having this conversation with an anti-corruption activist, but unfortunately, he actually wrote us this morning to say that he won't be able to make it to the studios, and that's because of an emergency that, actually needs his attention. So, we're going to be riding solo on the show this morning, and the conversation is going to be strictly between myself and you, the highly esteemed listener out there, because we know, of course, that this is one development that has been sparking, a lot of reactions for the longest time. Now that the former governor has been remanded, in prison, what are your thoughts? Is it a step in the right direction for those who actually had an issue with him still walking or moving freely, despite, the magnitude of, the alleged crime leveled against him? Now, just to give a background to the conversation, the remand of Yahaya Bello, the governor of Kogi State, in Kuje prison marks a significant development in Nigeria's anti-corruption war. Now, this move comes amidst allegations of corruption and mismanagement of state funds against the governor. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has been investigating these allegations, leading to the governor's appearance in court. Well, a high court in Abuja has ordered the remand of Yahaya Bello in Kuje prison pending the outcome of his trial, and the EFCC has been, investigating these, allegations of corruption and mismanagement of state funds. And of course, Yahaya Bello's administration has been facing scrutiny over its handling of state finances, including allegations of embezzlement and misappropriation of funds. Now, this actually leaves us, with a lot of questions, right? That we really would love to get answers to as much as we can, as to what lessons can be learned, from past experiences with corruption and mismanagement of state funds in Nigeria. It is no news that Nigeria has a long history of corruption and mismanagement of state funds, with several high-profile cases involving government officials and politicians. And indeed, the remand of Yahaya Bello in Kuje prison, analysts have been saying, actually marks a significant turning point in the country's anti-corruption war. So one would say that it is safe to give the EFCC, and other, agencies in charge of fighting corruption a pat on the back, for also being, on top of their game, especially in recent times. Just last week, we had a conversation with regards to, 753, duplexes, the EFCC, and now here we are with, the remand of the former governor of Yahaya Bello, in Kuje prison. Now, there are also other factors. How will the remand of Yahaya Bello impact the economy of Kogi State and Nigeria as a whole? And you also take a look at the social implications that may arise from the remand of Yahaya Bello, particularly in Kogi State, knowing, of course, that at the moment, the very time that it was reported that the man had actually, diverted monies or stolen monies, as it were, and it actually sparked, this public, outcry, uproar, if you like, with some Nigerians saying that, no, this person should be taken into custody and questioned or investigated thoroughly, with regards to the amount of monies that we are talking about, because these are actually state funds. At the same time, one will recall very clearly that some groups of persons had actually come out in loyalty, to the former governor of Kogi State, saying that the man is innocent and what have you. But again, the trial is actually ongoing and is remanded in Kuje prison until January next year. And this is actually for, the obvious reasons and, the legalities of, the court, judgments. Now, there are salient questions that one would want to ask. What measures in terms of corruption and accountability can be taken to ensure accountability and transparency in governance, particularly in the management of state funds? Yes. What measures can be taken to ensure accountability and transparency in governance, particularly in the management of state funds, in such a way that we don't have, this recurring decimal almost every now and then, that when a sitting governor is done with his tenure, and then the next thing is probe here and there, and somehow the chances might be slim, but there are always traces of corruption, allegations here and there. You recall the case of the former governor of a Delta State, Fine Yokowa. That also sparked a lot of reactions at the time as well. So there are different perspectives to which one can actually dissect this issue critically, and without mincing words, and also without bias. But it's really unfortunate that my guest couldn't make it to the studios this morning to help us get sense of his own perspective, especially as an anti-corruption activist. But we're actually counting on you, our dependable ally and highly esteemed listener, to call in to share your thoughts like you always do. Most importantly, without bias as well and sentiment. Let's critically look at this particular subject matter. Yes, what are your thoughts? The numbers to call this morning to be part of the conversation are 090-8766-8888 or 090-7353-0044. You can also send a message to the WhatsApp portal on 090-9705-4450. Yes, these are the numbers that you can actually call or even send a message to this morning, so we can hear from you what your thoughts are. And please keep your voice notes, at 1 minute 30 or at most 35 seconds. And please do well to stay civil. Let's try our best as well to avoid the use of vulgar language whilst making our contribution on the show this morning. And another perspective that one would want to bring into this conversation would be the expectation of Nigerians, or as a Nigerian, what are your expectations, right, with regards to the outcome of Yahaya Bello's trial now. So it won't be like one is trying to take sides, right? We are indeed open to views and counter views this morning. So whatever it is, we'll be glad to assess your view or your thought patterns on this topic. Hello, good morning to you.
Good morning, Amarity.
Yes, good morning. What's your name and where you're calling from? What's your name? Okay, are you Deltan?
I'm an Isokoman.
Oh, very well, sir.
I've been hearing this name. I said this should be from my place. That one of the days I will call. Apart from the text I'll be sending.
All right. Thank you so much, sir. Very good. So let's hear from you first of all. What your thoughts are?
Okay. My sister, the corruption in our society, it has become a norm. It is in our blood. So we have been talking here and there, but the thing is still persisting. But we will not keep our mouths shut. The trial of Yahaya Bello is a welcome development, because 100 billion naira that is alleged to have been taken is more money. If not their plea bargain, if actually they will have recovered that money from him, it will have gone a long way in revamping the economy of Kogi State. But at the end of the trial, you will see his plea bargain, he reformed maybe 30 billion, just as in the case of the former Akata General, that he stole over 100 billion, and at the end we were hearing that he refunded 30 billion, and he's making away with the many billions of naira. That is just the problem we have. So if his trial is a good development, because 100 billion naira is not a small money. That is just what I have to say now.
All right.
Thank you, my sister.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you so much, Ogedemanu, for calling.
I'm from Araya in any way. Which part of Isoko do you hear from?
All right. I think you should just send a message to our WhatsApp portal, and I will take it from there. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. All right, for your line of thought, Ogedemanu. Yes. Well. Okay. The numbers are still 09087668888 or 09073530044. Don't forget that you can send a voice note or a message to the WhatsApp portal on 0909705 4450. Basically, the topic of discussion this morning is implications of Yahaya Bello's remand. All right. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, Amos. Good morning.
Yes, good morning. What's your name and where you're calling from?
Okay. My name is Coco, calling from Central Area.
Coco from Central Area. Good to have you. Please go ahead.
Okay. It's my own thought in this matter. I want to ask.
Coco, are you there?
That they used to go after their tenure. What about the president? What about our president? If they finish, nobody will attack them with what the corruption they do about. But it's only governors and senators and the rest of the arm of government. I think this thing should be political issues. That is my own take.
All right. Coco, thank you for your line of thought right there. Okay, let's take this one, right? Okay. A miss right there. Please do what to call back if you can, or better still send a message or a voice note to the WhatsApp portal on 09097054450. And of course, if you want to bring in some sort of comparative analysis to the topic of discussion this morning, one would actually understand that even in other climes, there are efforts in, decisive efforts, anti-corruption efforts, if you like, with other African countries. And here are some insights, just to let you in that in South Africa, for example, the government had actually established a number of institutions to combat corruption, including the Public Protector and the Special Investigating Unit. And also in Ghana, the government has implemented a number of reforms aimed at reducing corruption, including the establishment of an office of the Special Prosecutor. In Kenya, the government had also taken steps to strengthen its anti-corruption institutions, including the establishment of, an Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission. And in Nigeria, here we have the EFCC, we have the ICPC, all right, and other agencies whose responsibility, is to tackle, corruption headlong. But with the progression of events, indeed, just like the last caller asked, that why, is it always a case with, former governors and, senators, and why not the president? But is it right to say that the presidents are now sacred cows, all right, especially with regards to corruption cases? Well, the conversation continues right here. Let's hear from you. Yes, what your thoughts are. How would you evaluate, the trial process of Yahaya Bello and the fact that he's been remanded in Kuje prison until January next year? And this actually has been sparking a lot of reactions. We've seen Dino Melaye's, reaction to this, even though it actually smacks of what's the word now? Dino Melaye, his antecedents are actually in the public and very open for one to, get sense of. But I really wouldn't want to dwell too much on that, right? Abdul Majid Yusuf from Third Avenue says, good morning. Yahaya Bello case. We pray the court will do justice. That's all. All right, indeed. We pray that, justice, would be served. Thank you so much for that message. Regardless, but let's hear from you. Most importantly, what are your thoughts? What do you make of this update with regards to Yahaya Bello's trial? Is it a step in the right direction or not? And just to help you also get sense of some of the technicalities that brought about him being remanded in prison. Now, according to the Nation newspaper, the High Court, of the Federal Capital Territory in Maitama has indeed ordered the remand of the immediate past governor of Kogi State, Yahaya Bello, in Kuje Correctional Center, Abuja, pending his bail application, right? And then, by the court's ruling, Bello may remain in prison until January 29, when the court adjourned further proceedings in the criminal case involving him. Now, Bello is standing trial along with two others in an alleged 110 billion naira money laundering, a charge brought against him by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC. Now, in an earlier ruling on Tuesday, Justice Marian Aneni faulted the competence of Bello's bail application and held that it was filed prematurely. Now, Justice Anene held that the application having been filed when Bello was neither in custody nor before the court, his application was incompetent. Now, the fact that he was sent to, Kuje prison is actually somewhat on this, ground as well, knowing that, his bail application was actually filed prematurely. Right, and the dates have to do with November 22 and November 26 or thereabouts. So it's a bit contradictory there. So now, according to Dino Melaye, he would have to spend Christmas in Kuje prison, and according to him, he actually he foresaw this some years ago, and here it is coming to reality. No pun intended, but it's really disturbing. When we hear cases of former governors, former leaders, as it were, being charged with corruption, either diverting money or stealing monies, as it were. It is indeed very, very disturbing. But why has this trend continued thus far? And what exactly are your thoughts? How much of a concern is it to you that somehow these people, only get, the sledgehammer on their head really hard when they are out of office? Yes. So these are the issues we're trying to, analyze this morning on the program in the absence of, my guest who couldn't make it to the studios this morning. What lessons can be learned from past experiences with corruption and mismanagement of state funds in Nigeria? And talking about the implication, yes, the implications as it were, that may arise from the remand of Yahaya Bello, particularly in Kogi State. What exactly are your thoughts? The numbers to call are still 09087668888 or 09073530044. You can send a voice note or a message like some of you are already doing to the WhatsApp portal on 09097054450. Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you. How are you doing today?
Very well, thank you. What's your name and where you're calling from?
My name is Audu Ali. I'm calling from Senegal.
All right, Audu Ali, please go ahead.
I'm hearing you about the arrestment of Abelo. He committed himself to EFCC. It's a welcome development. He has experience for political leader to submit himself to EFCC. But what he do for Kogi government is not good. But what he wants to do now is that after he submitted, he returned the money they found, 100 billion where he stole for the state government. After he returned it, then the EFCC can consider his situation and release him from the prison. If not, Yahaya Bello is. Are you hearing me?
Yahaya Bello is what?
It's in suit. It's under a custody to be arrested, even life imprisonment, because it's not do anything for the big government. And we cannot follow what Yahaya Bello is doing. And Yahaya Bello has been arrested now. It's under the custody of the FCC. And that is my happiness today. Because that money was supposed to be released. I could remember one leader from my local government, Benjamin Kanu Golo. He did the local government chairman and he left 6 million for the account for local government chairman. Why he do that? Because upon the work where the man do, why he do that? Because if he come out, if he's not on sick, next time they cannot criticize him that he's stealing the money. Either he's stealing the money, he's not stealing the money, they can talk put against him again. But Yahaya Bello is not try, but he get federal government to intervene the situation so that our money that is stealing from the government to be returning and to use it to do a good development to our people. If not, Yahaya Bello is not free now.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much, regardless, for calling, all right. It was almost, a tall order, getting sense of your, viewpoint or opinion right there. But corruption is corruption, right? And for Nigerians, corruption shouldn't be treated, with kids' gloves. And it shouldn't, be treated with any form of sentiment at all. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning. What's your name and where you're calling from?
Good morning, Omar. How are you?
Very well, thank you. What's your name and where you're calling from?
My name is Yahaya Bello.
All right. I'll just head on now to the WhatsApp portal to take some of the messages that we have on here. Abbas reporting from Dusit says concerning the EFCC and Yahaya Bello. For me, I think the EFCC has dragged a net wide enough to also include all those who work for this governor and their financial assistants, and the bank's manager who facilitate this corrupt act must also be arrested along with, the governor. Arresting this governor alone is not enough while the accomplice are working freely. This governor cannot steal alone without the help of financial agencies. Financial agencies ought to be the ones blowing the whistle when they find out that money is actually illegally diverted. Abbas reporting from Duce there. Thank you so much for that message. Again, what happens to the whistleblower policy? Yes, what happens to the whistleblower policy? Because I recall very clearly that during the former President Muhammadu Buhari's tenure, he had actually lamented that even after coming up with the whistleblower policy, the gains recorded at the time, they were almost insignificant, and that's probably because some Nigerians had actually developed cold feet in that regard. But has the whistleblower policy even helped at all in the fight against corruption in Nigeria? And then how would you assess the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission thus far in its fight against corruption, and specifically this administration's drive in the fight against corruption? How would you assess it, all right, with all that's been going on in the country? What exactly are your thoughts? What is your assessment of these anti-corruption agencies, especially under the President Bola Tinubu-led administration? Have they been doing well, or you think there is more that needs to be done? And if you think there is a lot more that needs to be done, you might as well suggest or even bring to the fore some of your fine ideas that you think should be adopted in the fight against corruption in Nigeria. Sanusi from Suleja says, all I know is that justice must be served irrespective of position, status, or affiliate. The rule of laws must be duly respected. Anyone found guilty, I guess, must be brought to book to serve as deterrent to others of like minds. Sanusi from Suleja, thank you so much. And he says, good morning, Eagles FM. We'll say good morning to you as well. Thank you so much for that message. So keep the messages coming in, and also the calls. Let's hear from you what you make of this, development. The numbers to call are still 090-8766-8888 or 090-7353-0044. You can also send a voice note or a message to the WhatsApp portal on 090-9705-4450. And we'd like you to know also that we are streaming at the moment on Facebook and YouTube, right? For those who are not in Abuja, or even if you're in Abuja, you can also join, the live streaming on Facebook and YouTube. Drop a comment, share our videos, subscribe to our YouTube channel is very, very important. We don't take it for granted. Let's hear from you what your thoughts are. What are the implications, right, of Yahaya Bello's remand? Yes, that is the big question we're asking today on Eagles Outlook. And also, what lessons, as a matter of fact, the questions are actually many. What lessons can be learned from past experiences with corruption and mismanagement of state funds in Nigeria, knowing fully well that Nigeria has a long history of corruption and mismanagement, of state funds, with several high-profile cases involving government officials and politicians. So, the remand of Yahaya Bello in Kuje prison indeed marks, a significant turning point, in the country's anti-corruption war. And for those who actually have been developing not just cold feet, but with mixed feelings, especially for the fact that the accused is one that actually tags himself the White Lion. And you remember when he was on the wanted list, of the EFCC, and the number of Nigerians, I recall very clearly during the Pages segment or the newspaper review, if you like, people had actually called in to say, why is it difficult, to trace this person and also get him arrested, for questioning or thorough investigation. But now he's now been remanded. So would it be right to say that the EFCC has, done well, or you think a lot more needs to be done? Some are saying that others involved, others who may have, aided, this alleged corruption should also, be taken into custody for questioning. But again, the conversation does not stop. It does not end here, because we're also keeping our fingers crossed to see more updates, of course, that would emerge from this development. But what we're asking is, what are your thoughts? What do you make of this? What do you make of this? The economic impact of Bello's remand, how would the remand of Yahaya Bello, specifically impact the economy of Kogi State and Nigeria as a whole? And also, you take a look at the social implications, what social implications may arise from the remand of Yahaya Bello, particularly in Kogi State as well. I think we're somehow focusing on Kogi State because, that is, his state of origin, and he was, a governor of the state, and it was during his administration that it was alleged that 110 billion naira was actually mismanaged, misused, or diverted, or even embezzled, if you like. So let's hear from this guy. All right, do what to call back. Let's hear from you. I already gave a comparative analysis of the anti-corruption fight in Nigeria to what is obtainable in other African countries. I talked about South Africa, I talked about Ghana, and I also talked about Kenya. So people who actually think that corruption has eaten deep into the fabrics of the nation, but it's not something that is typical of Nigeria alone. It's also something that is being complained or frowned at even in other climes, right? Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes. What's your name and where you're calling from?
My name is Audu Muhammad Koto. I'm calling you from the area, estate.
Where are you calling from?
Yes, I'm calling you from Kuzape Estate.
All right, please go ahead.
Yes, it is very, very abolish to see this from Yahaya Bello, because Yahaya Bello is supposed to serve as a legacy to the youth of this country, because we believe that Yahaya Bello is one of the youngest governors in this country.
Former governor.
The youth of the yes, that we look at him like maybe this country is a young person. This attitude of stealing or diverting the funds from the state government of it is something that tarnishes the image of this country. The financial crime commission book according to the law.
Is it possible for you to call back, because I'm finding it difficult to get sense of the point you're trying to make. It's quite noisy from your end.
All right. Let me call back.
Thank you very much. Please call back. All right. This is Eagles Outlook Live on Eagles FM 102.3 Abuja, and again, the topic of discussion is implications of Yahaya Bello's remand. We'll just take a quick break now to go pay some bills, and when we come back, you can trust that the conversation will continue. And of course, the studio lines will still be open for you to call in to share your thoughts on this particular subject matter. Do join us again.
Eagles 102.3 Abuja.
I don't need no liquor. I'm intoxicated by you.
My country people, who work is supposed to enjoy you after all the hustle. You not supposed to take your comfort play to fit sleep the way it's supposed to be. Make you go grab a your Eurofoam mattress. Make you forget your full comfort. Whether na Euro Spring, Euro Orthopedic, or semi-orthopedic, Diamond and Diamond Plus. And for Comfort Pro Max, Eurofoam don't introduce latest in town. That na Euro Elite. This one they sleep jolly meant no get equal. Eurofoam get quality pillows and sheetings. Eurofoam shop yakpa everywhere for Bodo Nigeria. Eurofoam, sleep the way.
Listen to this infomercial.
Hello Nigeria. Hello Africa. Do you want to work in the healthcare sector? Do you want to be a trained, certified nursing assistant, medical assistant, or caregiver? If yes, then register to enroll for Push Africa's one-year diploma in certified nursing assistant training happening at the African University College of Science and Technology, Abuja. Targeted trainees are unemployed graduates, O-level or ordinary diploma graduates, or anyone interested in working as a support worker in the healthcare sector. For details, log on to www.pushafrica.org or WhatsApp 080-339-42015, 080-339-42015, 080-339-42015. For registration, pick up application form at our partner radio stations or visit the reception at the African University of Science and Technology, Abuja.
Eagles 102.3 Abuja.
Do you want to cash out big on Nigeria's most exciting lottery platform this happy season and beyond? Become an Afro Lottery System Kiosk Operator in your city and make your dreams come true. Call 0818-987-2332 or visit our website www.afrolottery.com. Approved by National Lottery Regulatory Commission. Afro Lottery, your cash out gateway. Only for 18 and above. Bet responsibly.
Eagles 102.3 Abuja.
ilimi babban abu ne gunmu shi zai kankan ya mutuncin mu
a kowane garni a kowace irin umma da ilimi tinka yanzu fa tazara tana kokarin ta kai tazara
musamman mu yaya mata da a wannan zamani ya kamata a cusa mu makaranta sai aka bar mu da yawon gararan ba da tallace
ashe kaga ya zama haƙƙi ga iyaye da kowa mai hanin jinka
mu tabbatar da ana cusa yara makaranta
su samu natijar ilimi su daidaita da zamanin su
kuma zamanin su ya tinkaho da su amma rashin sa yaran a makarantar ya jawo an mana tazara a kowace harka ta rayuwa
a Najeriya kimanin yara sama da miliyan 20 ba sa makaranta
har ma masu kididdiga suka ce miliyan 8 a kudu miliyan 12 a arewa shi yasa hukumar ilimin bai ɗaya ta ƙasa wato UBEC ta ce
mai kafada da kafadar tunani wajen cusa yara makaranta
domin gadon ilimi ya fi gadon dukiya
wannan sako ne daga hukumar ilimin bai ɗaya ta ƙasa wato UBEC
himma da ƙwazo ƙoƙarin mushinku jama'a kiran mu nake bisa dagewa
Eagles 102.3 Abuja.
Please listen to this infomercial.
Hello Nigeria. Hello Africa. Do you want to work in the healthcare sector? Do you want to be a trained, certified nursing assistant, medical assistant, or caregiver? If yes, then register to enroll for Push Africa's one-year diploma in certified nursing assistant training happening at the African University College of Science and Technology, Abuja. Targeted trainees are unemployed graduates, O-level or ordinary diploma graduates, or anyone interested in working as a support worker in the healthcare sector. For details, log on to www.pushafrica.org or WhatsApp 080-339-42015, 080-339-42015, 080-339-42015. For registration, pick up application form at our partner radio stations or visit the reception at the African University of Science and Technology, Abuja.
Eagles 102.3 Abuja.
My people, the thing where they happen for my area, eh?
Do you think I will now find out that you have contract to bring fresh girls?
I brought you from the gutters. Who gave you all the connects? MDG who? Without me, you would have been nobody. But I
join Media Coalition and Awareness to halt human trafficking, MICAT, on I Wish I Knew radio drama every Saturday at 10 a.m. Let us join hands and kick human trafficking out of our communities. I Wish I Knew radio drama, brought to you by MICAT in partnership with the National Agency for Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, NATIP, and funded by the Embassy of Denmark in Nigeria.
Get the desired clients for your business and service and get your phones buzzing. From the 1st of September to the 31st of December, you can advertise and reach a large audience with the Eagle 7 Ember Months package. Advertise on any of our platforms and get a whopping 30% discount. That's right, 30% discount. For more information, please call 080 5919 8658 080 5919 8658 or 081 57 91 7278 081 57 91 7278. The Eagles FM 102.3 FM Ember package is a sure way to getting a wider clientele for your business and service.
Sorry for the inconvenience. I suppose it was inevitable. Eagles 102.3.
Thank you so much for staying with us. And if you are just joining us, this is Eagles Outlook live on Eagles FM 102.3 Abuja. And on the program this morning, we are looking at implications of Yahaya Bello's remand. Well, we do not have a guest in the studio. It's not because we did not make efforts to get one, but due to some, uncertainties right there, he couldn't make it to the studio, so we're just having the conversation solo. The numbers to call this morning to be part of a conversation, the numbers are 090-8766-8888 or 090-7353-0044. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Yes, good morning. What's your name and where you're calling from?
My name is Barista. I'm calling from airport.
Barista Hassan, good to have you. Please go ahead.
Yes, the implications of the former governor Yahaya Bello's incarceration or remand are multi-faceted. First of all, the rule of law is becoming stronger and assuming a greater presence, a greater relevance in Nigeria. Of course, we know that Yahaya Bello is in prison because of the mistakes made by the lawyers with respect to the time the great application was filed.
Right.
Granted that it is amount to technicalities. The Supreme Court said we should actually not bring to the forefront. But the provisions of the law were not followed. And we know that any person who is accused of anything is deemed to be innocent until proven guilty. But I want us to go further than this baseline, this narrative, by trying to strengthen the rule of law by amending section 208 of the Constitution, by removing the limiting clause conferred on the president and the governor with regards to criminal prosecution. I'm not talking about.
Are you there, Barrister Hassan? Barrister Hassan, are you there? All right, you might want to call us, to wrap up your, okay? We really would be glad to hear from you, your submission rather. 090, I beg your pardon, 8766-8888 or 090-7353-0044. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes.
I am Audi coming back.
All right, welcome back, Audi. You have a minute 30 seconds this time.
All right. I want to commend the effort of the FCC and the judge that held the case of Yahaya Bello on the process. And my last words is for other rulers to give an example of what is happening now. The rules of law is coming very stronger in this country, regardless of your religions, your regions, your party, your whatsoever position you have. I want to thank these administrations of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to look at any other person who engages himself in this act of corruption. It should be held responsible.
All right. Thank you very much. Hello, good morning.
Yes, Batista, I'm back.
Yes, welcome back. Welcome back.
Yes. What I'm listening is that Yahaya Bello's remand has further tasked us to see how we can strengthen the laws with respect to corruption. For example, I mentioned Section 308 of the Constitution that confers immunity on the president and the governor. That is with regard to criminal prosecution. I'm not talking about civil litigation now. You see, the truth is that if we wait until the end of the tenure of the president and the governor before prosecuting them, there is 10 days fee for them to cover that track. Okay. Somebody commits an offense, say in 2024, and you're waiting until 2027 before you prosecute it. Isn't that telling the truth? He would cover his track. So what can't you, because of the damage the corruption has done to the politics and to the life of the generations unborn, why don't you prosecute him now? Immediately a case of corruption is established against either the president or the governor, they should be prosecuted so that corruption is a cancerous growth that will continue to destroy the system unless it is immediately cut off. Understand? So this is one of the implications for Yahaya Bello's remand. They have made us to think of how we can strengthen the momentum, the laws against corruption. Okay. It can be done and it must be done. And God help us. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Barrister Hassan. All right, for your line of thought. He is actually calling for a repeal of Section 308 of, the 1999 Constitution, which confers absolute immunity on those therein, right? Okay, this is definitely going to be a discussion for another day, right? Because some people might have dissenting views to that. But thank you regardless. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, my sister. Her Royal Highness on radio.
Good morning to you. What's your name and where you're calling from?
Yes, yeah, my name is UND. I'm calling right here in Asokoro.
All right, UND, good to have you. Please go ahead.
Yes, you are asking the implication of Yahaya Bello's arrest.
Remand, yes.
Yeah, you see, that's what we have been going for. You see, what kept us this particular what is going on in Nigeria, you see, corruption is number one. Corruption, and you see this plea begging of a thing is not ordering well with us. You see, ever since they created EFCC 2003, we've not seen any impact from that. So I just urge the judiciary and the executive to, make the judiciary to be independent as it's supposed to be, and see them so that, you see, you can't try this in China. You cannot try this in China. You see, let me just see, because the place I'm buying our mind is very noisy.
All right.
Let me just leave others to contribute. Peace.
Thank you very much,
my sister, and God bless Nigeria.
Thank you very much, UND, for your line of thought right there. Somehow trying to bring in, or trying to assess, the implication of the plea bargain, right, side by side, the fight against corruption in Nigeria. Thank you, UND, once again. Right, the numbers to call us is 090876688 or 09073530044. And the voice note or message to the world 9097050. And joining us, this is live on Eagle 2.3, where we are discussing the implications of Yahaya Bello's, remand. Right. Okay. What would you suggest, by way of monitoring and evaluation? Indeed, while giving the EFCC and the anti-corruption agents on the back for a job done, or in recent times, just to further amplify the crusade, corruption in Nigeria. What would you suggest, by way of monitoring and evaluation, so that the tempo would obey in Nigeria? Hello, good morning. What's your name and where are you from?
Engineer.
Engineer.
Thank you. The problem we have in Nigeria is not even all about the people embezzling either state or federal government funds being in over the years. FCC has been doing a lot of governors. We are minded, and at the end of the day, they are moving freely. Then the man who stole packets of mangi will serve life imprisonment. And we're talking about somebody who stole 100 and something billion. It is even the situation we find ourselves today, the poverty level that is increasing in this country is as a result of corruption. No any other thing. And by way of dealing with this, EFCC need to step up again.
Okay.
Number one, we had about somebody built 753 houses in Lokoguma. Up till now, we do not even know who built. Is it foul that built that? So if you are trying to hide some person and you are telling us you are fighting corruption, you did nothing. And let me just say it again. If a governor spent 4 years and there is a corruption within his domain, he don't even need to contest again. And this immunity of a team needs to be removed. Now the Senate and the rep have the right to remove Mr. President, to remove whatever that been given appointment. They are not in immunity. Then why will the governor deal with the shadow of immunity? And they are the ones, in fact, make nonsense of the whole state. And we are blaming Mr. President. Mr. President, is Bola Tinubu now releasing funds to the state? A manigal amount held from either government or Kogi state. It is not even only Yahaya Bello that govern the state. So many have governed, but we have not even seen this kind of a thing before. And today, the Kogi state remains pauper. What do I mean by pauper? Poor. The poor people you see in Kogi state is the one, even other states we're talking about our state, is unbearable, pathetic. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much for your line of thought right there. And it's even good to know that you are from Kogi State. So it's assumed that you are better abreast, with the situation of things. Okay, thank you. I think we can actually take one or two more calls, before we wrap things up on the show this morning. The numbers to call are still 090-8766-8888 or 090-7353 on 090-9705-4450. Implications of Yahaya Bello's remand is what we're talking about this morning on Eagles Outlook, right? And if you're just joining us, welcome on board. Let's hear from you what your thoughts are, right? Okay, now the implications of Yahaya Bello's remand are actually far-reaching. I mean, one would say some possible implications, may include increased scrutiny of government officials. The remand of Yahaya Bello may lead to increased, scrutiny of government officials, particularly those suspected of engaging in corrupt practices, and also improved accountability. Right? This remand, the remand of Yahaya Bello, may also lead, to improved accountability, as government officials may be more likely to be held accountable for their actions. And we're optimistic that the remand of Yahaya Bello, may also lead to reduction or reduced, corruption, as government officials may be less likely to engage in corrupt practices. But maybe this optimism should be, a cautious. It should be like a cautious optimism, right? But we're not trying to say that a thing of the past in Nigeria. We are praying and hoping sincerely. And of course, it actually entails, some sort of collective responsibility from the agencies, the government, and also the citizens that are being led, right? The whistleblower policy is something that we should actually take to heart. It's very, very important. Okay, the man of Austin from Adon Nasarawa State just sent another message. It says, I implore every well-meaning Kogite by co-guide you mean people of Kogi State, to embrace the trial of Yahaya Bello. The plea bargain should, be expunged from the act establishing the anti-graft, agency. But again, like I said before, the plea bargain, right? The plea bargain, assessing the case of, plea bargain and the fight against corruption in Nigeria, that we look forward to, in the days to come on this platform. Let's critically analyze, all of these, issues, especially with those that, those who should know, so we don't blow things out of proportion. But I'm afraid my time is already fast spent on the show this morning, so I guess I'll just leave it here. But best believe would actually, relay some of your viewpoints to the proposed guest, for today, who couldn't make it to the studios, and also, get his submission, and probably would, tinker on it even in the days to come, on the Eagles Outlook, show right here on Eagles FM. Well, thank you all so much for sharing your thoughts. It's good to know that you're passionate about, the Nigerian story, and you would want to lend your voice at every given opportunity. I really cannot, recall everybody that actually called on the show this morning, because I already missed a couple of calls. But thank you for spending part of your time with us. But I'd like to state very clearly that whilst our fingers are crossed to see the complete outcome, the total outcome of this, Yahaya Bello's, controversy or saga, the views expressed on the show this morning were not influenced by Eagles FM 102.3 Abuja. Until tomorrow, my name is Omo Peace or Semere. Oh, by the way, I'll be back in a moment with the business.